Yes. Going back to what you said earlier, Enoch Powell was the only politician you know who wrote his own pamphlets. Of course, there have been many politicians over the past generation who have been very distinguished writers, people like Sir Keith Joseph, for instance.
I'm afraid not. Sir Keith Joseph's speeches were either written by, were written by other speechwriters. The best ones were written by Alfred Sherman, and then what's amusing in that case is not only did Sherman not write his own speeches, but his speechwriter didn't even then write the own footnotes to them, because I was once given the task. In fact, and again, it was a further rung down the ladder. Ken Smith, the librarian at the IEA, was often asked by people associated with the IEA, and Sir Keith was one of them, to sort of help out on bits of research or whatever, and dig up some footnotes. And there's one particular case where Sherman was doing a speech for Joseph and wanted some footnotes to sort of go into its published form, and asked Ken Smith to do them, and Ken Smith then asked me to do them. So sort of 4 degrees down, you're arriving at the real writer of the of what appears under somebody's name. Ironically, incidentally, in that particular occasion, I don't think the piece actually then appeared with footnotes, so they weren't used. But again, that happened a lot. Hardly any of the politicians of the current generation write their own books. Margaret Thatcher hasn't written none of her speeches, and none of her autobiography. The only other Conservative writer I can think of who wrote his own material was the headmaster.
Oh, Rhodes Boyson.
Yes, Rhodes Boyson, who was had a PhD and wrote a quite distinguished PhD and wrote his own books and articles and speeches. But almost invariably, in all the parties, the books are written by other people. Indeed, it's sometimes you then amazingly find out that it looks like the politician never even read the book that came out under his own name. As for example, with Alan Duncan, whose quite interesting book, Saturn's Children, which had a quite accurate libertarian chapter calling for the legalisation of drugs. When suddenly his critics brought this to attention, he withdrew it, retracted his position, i.e. his researcher's position, and brought out the second edition of the book without the call for the legalisation of drugs. I mean, it's just laughable. It's like these airheaded models who there was a spate of sort of various supermodels who were allegedly writing novels under their name, and then it emerges at the press conference they haven't even read the novel that's come out under their own name. They're not even aware of what's in it.
So you're saying that most politicians who claim to be intellectuals are in fact not intellectuals?
Absolutely, yes.
Did you ever meet